That was awesome. What we just witnessed was unconscious competence. Yoga dude, and that was very impressive. That's what I love about this community. There are just so many freaking smart people who can just off the top of their head start talking and going in multiple different directions. And I mean, whether it's Mike Mumola or Max or Yoga, there are just so many amazing orators out there and who are making our case. I will tell you one case that was made yesterday was Max. Well, let me just back up. Let me tell you what Max is doing. That guy's just so smart. So he's writing a book called The DNA of Bitcoin. And through the process, what we have from Satoshi Nakamoto, the founder, if it is a he or a she or a group of people, we don't necessarily know. I might give a hint on my thumbnail that I create for this specific show. So be sure to come back and look. It's going to be a hint. It's up to you whether or not you think we're on the right trail. But the DNA of Bitcoin, what Max with as far as that's what we have. So above all else, you have to understand the white paper inside and out. Max has read it a freaking 1,000 times, and I think he could probably orate it, just from memory at this point in time. But what he did was he decided to come out with, as the author of the DNA of Bitcoin, he created a podcast called The DNA of Bitcoin, and he has done an outreach to some of the most amazing minds in the world on Bitcoin. And the appeal is to say, hey, I'm writing the DNA of Bitcoin, and I want to make sure I have it right. So would love to be able to have you on my podcast to be able to explore the white paper and go through a thought experiment of if Satoshi had a mulligan and he could create Bitcoin with today's technology, what might it look like? Let's explore that. And he has gotten an amazing response from, I'm not going to give you the list of people. I'm going to give you one person who he's interviewed. So he's now had 3 interviews. One was the author of the Bitcoin Standard. The other one, I can't remember his name, but he's like, these gets are crazy. The fact that he interviewed them. I've heard the first 2. I've had the privilege of hearing the first 2 to just kind of see how they're editing and everything. It's just beautiful. It's amazing. Max is just expert at interviewing and engaging. So yesterday, you know who he interviewed? Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban. Do you understand how huge that is? And what was going to be a 30-minute interview turned into 45 minutes, and then a sidebar conversation talking a little bit more where Max actually went into more detail about Epic Cash, and Mark Cuban didn't even know what that Mimblewimble technology existed, and he's fascinated. Max said he's hard on himself, but he would give himself an A+ for that interview. So I cannot wait to hear that, and I know you can't wait to hear it too. But here's the genius of Max. Instead of releasing the first one and then the second one, what he decided to do was get 6 full interviews of the most amazing minds in the world in the bag. And I think the series is going to be 12 total. And once he has the 6, that's when he'll start dropping them. And then we'll be able to listen to him each week. But he wanted to do that just to get his sea legs, make sure it's going right, kind of get a sense of how it is to engage with these masterminds on Bitcoin. And I'm telling you, after listening to these, nobody is smarter on Bitcoin than Max Freeman, period. In the story. Nobody is smarter than Max Freeman in all of crypto. I'm telling you, all of crypto. I tell you, uh, I know we're not supposed to do this. We're not supposed to make price predictions, but man, we are so undervalued. It's just absolutely obscene. And when 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 this podcast series is released, think about it. All of these amazing minds and all of their followers are going to want people to hear this because it isn't about epic cash. That's the brilliance of this. Max is talking to them. If Satoshi had a mulligan and could redo it, what might be the positive attributes that he would consider? Folks, that's what we've been going through right here. The quest for superior money. So Max is able to ask the questions to where there's nobody who gets defensive, and their own words are going to make our case for us. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. So get excited. I hear that Diego wallet is really close. Mobile mining, they're making an amazing amount of progress on that. It's going to be here sooner than we even anticipated. And then there are so many other things on the roadmap that are all coming together, at once. I mean, even E1, there's been a breakthrough on that, on how we might be able to do that absent that $175,000 raise. There's ways that it's like everything's coming together. The whole crypto world is going to hell. It's a bloody Red Sea. And we are that green beacon on the hill, man. We are kicking ass, everybody. We are part of our future. We are so on the ground floor. We are so on the ground floor of something special that's going to be world changing. You do not understand it. You don't appreciate it. I'm starting to get there. I am. So if you're watching this, you are like at ground zero. You are on the ground floor. You are part of the founding team. And you should be proud of that, because you're smart enough to pay attention and to follow along and start understanding, and not just let everybody tell you what to think. No. You're smart enough to come get involved with the community. And the other thing I want to talk about is that over this last week, I've been so absent. I've tried to look at Telegram and everything, but finally I got back, and last night I was just going through Telegram, and there are so many of you now that are coming out of the weeds who are contributing like crazy. I mean, it's like I wake up and all of a sudden there's just a ton of this activity that's going on. And it's like, nobody's directing you. It's just manifesting. The community is starting to get traction. And it's like somebody put chains on tires in a snowstorm, and now you have the tractions. It's beautiful to see. And I want to thank all of you who are doing that. You're leading with your chin, not your hand out. And it's self-evident. It's what's going to help us flipping Bitcoin even faster than we ever imagined. And flipping Bitcoin, we will. I have no doubt.